What's going on, family? Welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews. I know I've been gone for a little bit, but I'm back, man, and it's really good to just get back on this grind. And I'm looking forward to actually talking to you guys and reviewing a few movies that I've seen recently, and I've been dying to get my reviews across. Even though a lot of these might be a little late, but it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to get my point across to you guys and make sure that you got my opinion, And we're gonna start off with Sick, 2022, going into 2023. This is one of the few films I saw on Peacock, and boy, I just want to start off by saying this is a welcome back for Kevin Williamson. I think it's a shame that this movie didn't get a theatrical release, as I think it would have been a hit. Obviously, Kevin Williamson is known for his Scream movies, directing, writing them. I know what you did last summer, along with a few other movies that I enjoyed quite a bit, even though the knock against them is that all these movies are kind of Scream-ish, right? But no matter what you think, this movie was, I think, one to watch. Once you watch, you'll be able to figure out why there was close to zero marketing for this film. You'll be able to figure that out in a glimpse. This movie doesn't take no time. It actually has a lot of great scenes, and I think Kevin Williamson turns the intensity level. I think he turns it to the most that he actually can, and even though he takes it to the max, this movie gets going pretty quick and never stops until the credits roll. The acting to me was really great, really good across the board. The two lead girls to me were standouts. I hope to see Gideon, Aldon, and Bethlehem in the future projects. As to me, they easily carried this film on their backs, literally. I highly recommend watching this. If you take the time, I think you will be rewarded. This movie is one of those slasher flicks with little tension to no scares, but it's very effective in what they try to do. They have a backdrop of what's going on currently at that time, which this movie I think took place obviously in 2020. So, it's going during that COVID-19 pandemic. You got these two besties who head up to lock themselves down at a family vacay mansion to quarantine. It's a stunning lock timing. I think the cinematography and the vision that Kevin Williamson and his team set to see actually came through on that film, on the camera. Once we established that, one sweetheart followed them out, and now we have our good guys, the attacks kind of start. If you're looking for a typical slasher, this is definitely not it. This movie is basically what it is. You get sick after a while because it's so quarantined. You basically have three characters here, and spoiler alert, there aren't that many deaths, obviously, right? With just a little bit of characters. And once these attacks start, there really is nothing to compare one to care about what happens to whom. But like I told you before, the acting to me was superior. So by the end of the break-in attacks, the story finally comes to you in such a way that it commands your attention. You're literally, what's next? What's going to happen here? Why she did this and so on. And it turns out the attackers have an agenda, and it's transcended throughout the film. It's the usual suspects and their usual motives, right? This crew kind of has reason or motive, you can say, for what they're gonna do, and that's what makes them very, very, very dangerous. I think this has to be the best slasher I've seen in a while. It's definitely gonna be up there for 2023 for me. I I didn't really want to review this movie because it's so simple, but it's so good at the same time. I felt that I didn't really need to review this film, but I just so happened to come across the day where I was like, you know what, I saw this movie already twice. I enjoyed it. Obviously, as you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I love watching horror movies. I don't really dedicate my channel to horror movies because, I like it all. But Jesus Christ, horror movies have really gotten me disappointed in the past. But I think this past year or two, I think horror movies have really redeemed themselves. And I I quite enjoyed the story. The movie jumps into everything pretty much right out of the gate. Um, Pretty much, those are a lot of positives. If I was to go over any mixed aspects of the film, um, I think they lacked to capitalize off of COVID and what it actually did to a lot of people. Um, but other than that, I think they did pretty good, honestly speaking. There were some weak COVID references. The villains as people who took it very seriously. There's a scene in the movie where one of the girls is running away, bump into a woman, and the woman doesn't even want to open the door to them because she's not wearing a mask. If it's an emergency, it's an emergency. That's how serious people were taking COVID around the beginning, you know. And what's crazy was the way the movie started. There's no indication, or they don't go back to the plot. I don't want to spoil anything to you. Pretty much until like the last 20 minutes of the film. Sure, there were dumb references, but it's mainly a kind of after you see it, although you enjoy it, it's kind of a mindless slasher film. But like I said, it's enjoyable. Pretty much generic. But I thought that it was directed fantastically. Great action, suspenseful moments. The good in this movie, obviously, lies within the two actresses. Everyone else is really good, even though there, like I said, weren't that many people in the film. The two lead actresses are, I think, going to be bona fide stars down the line. The villains were convincing. The directing, though, kudos to Kevin Williamson. This is a chase movie, basically. It's a movie where once it gets going, it never stops. There's tense, fun. Movie's well shot. The commentary on COVID was fun, dumb, and pretty good at the same time. There's quite a lot of funny moments that were slipped in. The movie also is well paced. It's kind of a short film because they really, really get to the point. And I hope you guys come out of this film the way I did. This film, what I loved about it is it doesn't hold back. The film didn't hold back. The concept is pretty simple enough. It's nothing special, and honestly, it didn't even need to be a COVID movie, but I'm glad that they used it as the backdrop. I thought towards the end of the movie, the commentary started to get a little heavy-handed. There's also one sequence in the film that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, involving a raft. When you do see it, think of what I'm telling you. And finally, there's one character in here that pretty much had no purpose in the first act. Aside from not being the most original movie, Sick is a well-executed slasher film. Overall, I gave this movie a 7 out of 10. And, that's basically for being fun. Tense. 2/3 of the movie reveal basically everything. Pretty much what you see in the trailers and stuff like that. While they provided a very airy setting. I think overall the COVID elements, I think weakened this movie rather than elevated. But very clever, thrilling. It's one of those movies that, I think we're going to see a lot of during COVID. Man, why not, right? Why not make a movie about the COVID experience? And this movie was shockingly good. So definitely go check it out. I gave this movie a 7 out of 10. If you agree, if you guys concur, you guys disagree with me, hit me up on my Discord, and I look forward to really getting back to you. It's been a while, man. Happy to see you guys, and I look forward to hearing you guys from the next. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. And if you want to keep supporting my channel, go ahead and click that follow. Deuces.